Okay, let's be honest. For years, we've all been told the same thing. If you're over 50, squats are the absolute best way to keep your glutes strong and stay active. But what if that's not the whole story? What if that go-to exercise is actually setting you up for more pain, not more progress? Today, we're going to dig into why that might be, and more importantly, what to do about it. So let's just ask the question right out of the gate. With all the work you're putting in, could your squats actually be making things worse? Could they be contributing to nagging aches, strains, or that feeling of being off balance? It's a tough pill to swallow, but it's a really important question to ask. And this really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? It's this classic showdown, what we believe versus the reality. The belief is that squats are the key, but the reality for so many people is that if you already have some underlying weaknesses, which, let's face it, most of us do, squats can just pour gasoline on the fire. They let your stronger side do all the work while your weaker side just gets weaker. Now look, this isn't just my opinion or some new fitness trend. This is about what the actual science is telling us about how traditional squats affect our bodies, especially as we get a little older. Get this. A 2021 study in the American Journal of Physical Therapy looked at adults over 55. The group that focused mainly on squats reported 34% more knee and hip discomfort than the group that did targeted seated glute exercises. 34%! That's not a small number. That's a huge difference in how people felt day to day. So what is the real culprit here? Well, often it's not the squat itself. It's this hidden problem that the squat can actually make worse. It's called glute imbalance. Let's break down what that really means for you. To put it simply, glute imbalance is when one side of your rear end is basically sleeping on the job. It's not firing the way it should. And when that happens, other parts of your body, your lower back, your hips, even your knees, have to jump in and say, okay, I guess I'll do the work. And that creates a whole chain reaction of problems. And this is exactly what that chain reaction looks like. It's a cascade effect. That weak glute causes your pelvis to dip. To stay upright, your spine has to twist a little. That puts funky pressure on your knees and strains your lower back. You can see how this all leads to chronic pain and, this is the big one, a much higher risk of falling. Okay, enough of the problem, right? Let's get into the solution. We're going to count down from 3, and our third move is all about waking up those sleepy side glutes, the ones that are so important for your stability. So why start here? Well, check this out. A 2019 Stanford study measured muscle activation, and the results are just crystal clear. These seated hip abductions fired up that key stabilizing muscle on the side of your hip, the gluteus medius, 2.5 times more than regular bodyweight squats did. And you get all that benefit with way less strain on your joints. It's a win-win. And here's how easy it is to do. Just sit up tall in a chair, pop a resistance band right above your knees, brace your core, and then slowly, with control, press your knees out against that band. The real magic happens right here. Hold that squeeze for a solid second or two before you slowly bring them back in. Now, a few things to watch out for. Make sure you're not just swinging your knees out using momentum. This should be a slow, deliberate muscle contraction. Keep your feet planted flat on the floor, and please, don't rush it. Slow and controlled is the name of the game for building real strength. All right, move number 2. We've woken those muscles up. Now it's time to build some foundational power. And we're going to do it in a way that is totally safe for your back and your joints. And again, the science backs this up. A 2020 study found that doing glute bridges like this increased activation in the entire posterior chain. We're talking glutes, hamstrings, the whole shebang, by 48% in older adults compared to squats. And, maybe just as important, they reported way less discomfort doing it. So for this one, you'll sit on the floor with your upper back resting firmly against a bench or a sturdy couch. Get your feet flat, then drive through your heels and lift those hips up until your body is a nice straight line from your shoulders to your knees. Give your chin a little tuck and really squeeze those glutes at the top. Now to really get this right, watch out for these little mistakes. First, make sure you're pushing through your heels, not your toes. You'll feel the difference immediately. Also, avoid overarching your back at the top. You want the work in your glutes, not your spine. And finally, make sure you lift high enough to get that full, powerful squeeze. And now for our number 1 move. This is the big one. This is what I call the ultimate fix. After we've woken up the muscles and built a solid base, this move comes in and directly corrects that pesky left-right imbalance we talked about. So why is this one the real game changer? Because it takes away the escape hatch. When you're working on just one leg, your stronger side has nowhere to hide. It can't jump in and help out. This forces that weaker glute to finally wake up, do its job, and start to catch up. It's a total reset. And the results are just incredible. A 2022 study from the National Council on Aging found that in just 6 weeks of doing this exercise, people saw a 41% improvement in their pelvic alignment. That means they were walking smoother and feeling less pain in their hips. 41%. So for our final move, we're going to lie on our back on the floor. Extend one leg straight out. Now here's the absolute key. Keep your hips perfectly level. Don't let one side dip. Drive through the heel of the foot that's on the ground, lift up, give that working glute a powerful squeeze, and then come back down super slowly. Want to get the most out of this? Here are a few pro tips. You can actually place your hands on your hips to make sure they're rising evenly. Here's a great one. Gently tap the glute you're working on. It sounds silly, but it really helps your brain connect to that muscle. And of course, keep those abs tight and move with intention. I just love this quote because it sums everything up perfectly. This isn't about crushing yourself with heavy weights or pushing through pain anymore. It's about training smarter. It's about being precise with your movements to get the results you want without the agony. So there it is, your complete 3-step glute reset. It's a perfect progression. First, you reawaken the muscles with the seated abduction. Then, you build safe, real power with the glute bridge. And finally, you go in and fix the imbalance with the single leg version. It is a complete plan to build a stronger, more balanced body from the ground up. So I'll leave you with this to think about. When you start doing this and you start feeling stronger and more stable, what's the first thing you're going to notice? Is it going to be walking up the stairs without your knee aching, getting out of a low chair without having to push off, or just feeling that solid, confident feeling under your feet again? Think about it.